Jason Curry, Bio 225. Week 3, this is the lab results for the 4th lab, exercise 1. So exercise 1 was getting the components down of the microscope, basically getting a better understanding of what the microscope does. A few things that stood out with me with this microscope was trying to figure out the magnification of the eyepiece. I looked in the directions, I looked on the assignment, and it turned out it was right on the eyepiece. I must have overlooked that, but after I figured that out, it kind of helped me throughout the way of exercise 1. I guess one thing that I really found useful was the ejective lens, or the condenser lens. This lens right here allowed the light flow to be greater or less, kind of dimmed and brightened the slide that you were viewing. The total magnifications of this microscope, basically had 4 of them. You had low power, high power, or low power, medium power, high power, and the oil lens. I liked using the low power in the beginning just to kind of find the slide, and then I would switch the power for magnifications to from medium to high to the oil, and it really helped me kind of pinpoint what I was looking at. So the green is 4 times magnification, and then basically it would give you a total of 60 times when you're looking through a slide. The blue right here had a power of 150 times of what you're looking at. The red had a magnification of 600 times of what you're looking at. And that was the kind of the one that showed the most of when I was viewing all the slides. And then you could attach the oil lens to the lower powered one, which I was able to get. So turned out to be helpful in the assignments. I gave you a 1,500 time magnification. I guess part of exercise 1 is was the ruler test. So the ruler test, basically they wanted you to take the millimeter or centimeter side, place it under low power, medium power, high power, and the oil lens also. And you wanted to see how much visual view that you had with each power. So with the low power, obviously I think showed the most. It had a 2 millimeter view within the viewing lens or the area. The medium power had I saw about 1 millimeter view in the lens, and then once you got up to the higher powers, it got really minimal. It was just kind of just a block of kind of a black mark. It was like 0.2 millimeters, and then 0.2, and then when you did it to the oil, it was it was really hard to tell, but it was like 0.1 what I observed. The next part of exercise 1 is the E slide. So you took the letter E and you put it in the field of view, and basically the same thing with the ruler. You did low power, medium power, high power. The low power setting, it presented the E into an upside down letter, but it you can see the entire E, and there was a lot of space around the field for basically just white space. With the medium power, you still saw the entire E. It was upside down also, but it kind of took up the whole field. It looked like a really large E, but you could see the entire E. On the large scale, when you put on the large magnification, you basically saw just kind of, again, just like looked like the kind of the downward part of the E. Couldn't really see the E at all. It was just more of a line, a black line that you saw. On the oil lens, again, I had a hard time determining what it was to see anything, but it was pretty. I think it just was too solid of a view to look at. So I'm going to go on to the next exercise, and that was exercise 2. That exercise was prepare the slides, the micro slides. So let's see, I viewed each slide in here. This like penicillium, spirillum, the coccus, yeast, the bacillus, and the amoeba. And we had to view each slide under low power, high power, and then the low, medium, and high powered. So it seemed like every slide that I viewed, the high power was the best power to view, except for the bacillus. That was more set. I had a better view with the medium power. I guess what you kind of were seeing was the different structures of each one. The amoeba, it was more of a single cell look. The cellular components seemed to be within the cell. It was like a solid, kind of, it was irregular shape, but it seemed like you had a good visual of the nucleus and the other structures. The penicillium looked branched, or more of a rod shaped. It seemed like it was chained together, I guess, when you viewed it. The yeast was in clumps. It was like grouped together in different areas, and it looked like it was kind of kind of just grouped and clumped together in like 3-4 different areas on the slide. The spirillum was like long rods, curved. It was more spiraled. And then bacillus had a rod-shaped spear, which was looked like it was kind of grouped together. I guess that's how you can describe it. And then the coccus had oval, looked oval, kind of a round appearance. And the final slide, or exercise 3, we had to take a swab from our cheek and swabs from kind of our gum and teeth line, and that gave us the teeth line. We were able to get dental plaque. The results of that, it seemed like the similarities were they were kind of spread out through the slide. It was more of a cluster kind of look on both slides. I think the cheek slide, their cheek cells, that slide presented, what kind I looked at it was like fish scales. Had a regular look, a little bit more detailed, like it had more of a solid color. You could kind of see the inside of the cell structure. With the dental plaque, it was less defined. There were certain ones that kind of looked a little bit more of a darker color. You could kind of see more definition inside the cell, more of the cellular structure. But seemed like the cheek was a little bit more defined than the dental plaque. But they were irregular shape for both of them, and it was interesting to do.